Welcome dear learners. We are continuing Unit 4 Fundamentals of Analytical Chemistry. In the present module, we are discussing simple first aids. The contents of this module are Introduction to First Aid in Laboratory, First Aid Kit in the Laboratory, First Aid for Electric Shocks, First Aid during Fire, First Aid for Cut by Glass, and First Aid during Inhalation of Poisonous Gas. First of all, we are discussing Introduction to First Aid in Laboratory. In a laboratory, it may be a science laboratory or a chemical laboratory or a chemistry laboratory. We are handling with enormous chemicals, glasswares and instruments. In certain case of emergency, we have to adopt first aid. This first aid help to protect the victim from further dangers. That is, first aid is of prime importance as far as a laboratory and laboratory working is considered. Now, what is first aid? First aid refers to immediate medical assistance given to a person suffering from an injury or illness before professional medical help is available. That means first aid is the very first medical assistance. After that, the victim may be promoted to the hospital or the assistance of medical practitioners, etc. This first aid is given by common pupils, not a registered medical practitioner like that. But the first aid is the immediate medical assistance. First aid in laboratory. In laboratory settings, where hazardous chemicals, glasswares and equipments are commonly used, first aid is crucial for minimizing injuries and preventing complications. Suppose a person is subjected to burning from sulfuric acid or bromine or some other toxic chemicals. We have to give the first aid, and that may prevent further burning and further complications. For example, some other example, if a person smells a toxic compound and we identified that, if we are giving some immediate first aid, then we can save the life of that victim, or we can prevent high complications due to the continuation of that procedure. So, first aid is very significant in a laboratory settings. Importance of first aid in the laboratory. We are now focusing the important features or the significance of first aid whenever we are working in a laboratory. Quick response to emergencies. This first aid reduces the severity of injuries. If we are not giving a first aid during an injury, then it may spread or it may lead to severe complications. Prevents further harm. The first aid is helpful in preventing the spreading of the harm or further harm. That means it stops minor incidents from escalating or from spreading. The first aid ensures workplace safety also. First aid encourages a safer working environment. It saves lives in many cases. First aid can be life-saving in severe cases such as chemical burns or inhalation of toxic gases. Now we are discussing